On this channel, I've tried what feels like dozens of meal delivery services, but I have never heard or seen anything quite like this company. When I heard about this company, Real Eats, I had to just reach out to them and ask them if they could send me a few samples of their meals to review because I was so curious about this company and I really wanted to share my thoughts with all of you. Real Eats uses a method of cooking called Sous Vide, which refers to a cooking method in which the food is placed inside of a plastic bag, but then it's cooked inside of boiling water. Now, this method of cooking originated in France, and the literal French translation of sous vide means under vacuum, because literally what this is you are cooking the meals inside of a vacuum sealed plastic bag. So I know what you're probably asking yourselves at this point. Why on earth would anyone eat food cooked out of a plastic bag? Is this safe? Is this a gimmick? Is this plastic going to melt all over my stove? Those are the questions that I asked myself, and that is what I'm going to be exploring in today's video. Now, if at the end of this video, you're like, Sarah, I want to try this out for myself, I have you covered. This is not a sponsored video, but I do have a discount affiliate link, which I will put down in the description because I need to pay my bills. And if you don't want to try out Real Eats, I don't blame you. I do have some mixed feelings on it myself. So if that's the case, definitely check out some of my other videos because I have reviewed so many meals delivery services on this channel. Check out those videos in that case. Anyways, let's continue. So essentially how the service actually works is you go on their website, order the meals that you are looking for, and everything is shipped directly to your door. One thing that actually really impressed me is how compact everything was shipped. This is probably one of the smallest boxes that I've ever received for a food delivery service, and everything is shipped refrigerated. It's not frozen. Everything was cold. I didn't run into any issues with the actual delivery process itself. So let me walk you through how the actual process works of cooking these meals because it's pretty unique. First things is you have to start some water boiling, then you can choose which meal you want to eat for yourself. Then after you have your meal selected, you're going to want to separate all of the different bags. So most of the meals I tried had like 2 or 3 separate plastic bags. So you're going to want to separate them and kind of cut them out. Be careful at this point not to cut them open because they are vacuum sealed, so you have to be careful of that. And each item has a symbol on it for how long it has to be cooked. So some of the items have to be cooked for 6 minutes, some are 3 minutes, and some of the toppings and cold items don't actually have to be cooked at all. And then for each of the items that have to be boiled, all you have to do is just place them in the boiling water and leave it there for the recommended time. And then once it's ready, you take it out, you cut the bag open, and then it is ready to eat. What I did like about it is you can cook multiple items at the same time, and you also don't need a microwave. However, just one side note is they do say that if you don't want to cook it in the water, you can actually cut the bags open and just cook them in the microwave. So personally, I didn't do this myself, but that is an option. I also liked, and I was kind of worried about cooking in plastic, if the plastic was going to melt, if it was going to get really hot, if it was going to stick to my pots and pans. So when I was first touching it, I was really careful with tongs and stuff, but I actually didn't really even need to do that. The plastic barely got hot at all, so it definitely did not melt or anything like that. However, there were a few things that I didn't like about this method that I kind of ran into. So one thing I didn't like is the food didn't really get that hot. Some of the items I ended up microwaving after I was done to get them a little bit warmer. So one tip that I have here is for the items where there's multiple cooking time, make sure you align the times so they're all done at the same time rather than starting at the same time. This way you'll just minimize the amount of time that any of the individual bags or the food items are just sitting after they're done, and you can just keep things as hot and fresh as possible. The other things to call out on things that kind of I didn't love is I found that all of the meals had kind of a lot of excess liquid. Personally, I didn't love that. And then the other thing to just note where maybe the ads are a little bit misleading is they say that these are ready in 6 minutes, and that's just not true because you do have to consider the time that it takes the water to boil before you can even start cooking. So I would estimate more like 15-20 minutes for most of these. Just keep that in mind that it's not quite as fast as the microwave meal kits that are done in 2 or 3 minutes. So let's talk about the plans and the pricing. So one thing that is really kind of a bummer about Sous Vide, normally it's pretty expensive. And again, I don't know a ton about this, but it seems like most of the time you need to spend at least $100, if not several $100s to buy the equipment. So one thing that's cool about Real Eats is the price is a lot more affordable, and they're actually kind of on the lower side of meals delivery services like this. So normally I like to say that about $10 is like the standard. That's pretty typical, and Real Eats actually is pretty competitive on the pricing. So if you get 12 meals, it's only $8.25 per meal, and it goes up to $11.25 if you only have 4 meals, but it's still not even that bad. Overall, I'd say the pricing is honestly pretty good. Now, when it comes to the nutrition of these meals, I feel like normally with meal delivery services, there's some kind of thing that they're going after when it comes to the nutrition. Either it's plant-based, it's keto, paleo, high protein, low fat, it's like local ingredients, it's all organic, like it has kind of like a thing. Real Eats doesn't really seem to have that. It's just kind of more focused on just like normal food. They don't really cater towards any type of diet. Most of the calorie counts that I've seen were about between like 450 to like 750 calories. It's, I would say, about average to maybe slightly above average of meal services like this. So my next question is this safe? Should we really be cooking our food inside of what looks like an IV bag? Real Eats, according to their website, they say that their bags are free of a bunch of toxic chemicals. They don't have BPA, they don't have phthalates, they don't have all kinds of words I can't pronounce, and I have no reason to doubt that. That being said, I mean, to be honest, I still am kind of skeptical of this. I do kind of worry in the back of my mind that in 10, 20, 30 years, there's gonna be like some breakthrough science where they're like, stop the sous vide, it's killing people. I don't think I would feel comfortable doing this all the time. Not anything specifically with Real Eat, it's just kind of in general cooking in plastic, it kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies. So yeah. So I saved the most important part to last, which is, how is the food? What did it actually taste like? The first one I tried was the Dijon mustard steak. This one my husband actually tried, but I did have a few bites of it. Personally, I didn't love it. I found like the steak slightly chewy, but my husband said he actually really liked it and gave it like an 8 out of 10. The second one I tried was the Baja chicken tacos. This one, again, I feel like it just did not get quite hot enough. The tortilla was a little bit thin and kind of fell apart, so I didn't love the tortilla, but the actual chicken was quite good. And other than the fact that it was like watery, it was pretty good. So I gave that one like a 7 out of 10. Decent. The next one I tried was the shrimp and smoky creamy grits. This one, again, I feel like it was just not that hot. Like it just felt a little bit cold, which is not great. And I also felt like it needed a little bit of salt, but it was pretty good. The shrimp were nice and al dente. It had a nice smoky flavor. The corn was pretty basic, but tasty. And the grits were decent. So I gave this one a 7 out of 10 again. Next, I tried the honey soy salmon, which was 460 calories. So for this one, the actual salmon was really, really tasty. I thought it was delicious, honestly. It was juicy. It had like a tasty, like sweet glaze on it. The only things I kind of wished about this dish is I wish the rice was a little bit more al dente. It was kind of a little bit mushy, and the veggies were good also, but I wish there were just more of them. That was kind of like one thing that I noticed about all of the dishes is I feel like I wish they were kind of more bulked up on the veggies. They kind of skimped out a little bit on that, I feel like. Next, I tried the chicken sausage and peppers. Again, this one I wish there was a little bit more veggies. I feel like the veggie portion was a little bit skimpy. The pasta was a little bit basic, but the sausage was pretty good. So I don't know, I would maybe give this one like a 6, maybe 6.5 out of 10. And then finally, I tried the grilled barbecue chicken. And again, I wish the veggies were more on this one, but it was decent. I gave this one a 6 out of 10. So what is my final verdict on Real Eats? Would I recommend this service? So here's who I would recommend this to. I would say if you are someone who has always been intrigued by the idea of sous vide, you want to try it out for yourself, but you don't really want to buy one of these like $300 gadgets, and you're not on any particular diets, and you're looking for a affordable meal delivery service, I think this could be a very good option for you. I would probably recommend it in that case, and if you do, definitely check out my discount link down below. However, I think I would probably pass on this if you are, number one, just kind of like sketched out about the whole like plastic cooking thing. If you're trying to reduce plastic cooking, you know, this is not the service for you. Also, I think if you're on a particular diet, like if you're vegan, vegetarian, keto, paleo, whatever, again, I don't think this is the service for you. If that's the case, definitely check out some of my other videos as well, because I have reviewed so many meal delivery services from like every type of meal type, I feel like, that you can imagine. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Until next time, bye.